we already know that based on what Evergrande, potential default, which is coming, by the way, which is coming because ratings agencies, and I remember, I told you that rating agencies are those companies that jobs is to actually analyze your company, analyze your business, analyze, the market, and analyze your industry, your cash flows, and how you perform your business, how you manage your business, and see how good you are at repaying your debt. All right. So these guys described and analyzed Evergrande, and based on that, they came up with, we are on the brink of insolvency, meaning Evergrande doesn't have the money it needs to repay all of the people who actually bought the debt, all the people that lended money to them. And this is a big company, all right? Now, the thing is, one of these company is now forced to write off billions of dollars. That we already knew, all right? This is not new information. This came out a couple of days ago. You can see that this is an article from December 12th. That will be yesterday, all right? Evergrande downgrade forces BlackRock and other institutions to write off billions. Now, Evergrande debt or bonds represents 1% of BlackRock total positions, all right? Total positions in the market. Now, here's the thing, folks. When you are losing money in a stock, let's say you have a bunch of positions out there, all right? You have positions in American Airlines, you have positions into, tech companies, you have positions into so many sectors in the market because BlackRock is so huge that they have their hands every single damn where in the market, not only in the US, but worldwide. This is the biggest hedge fund in the world. Now, if one of these positions, it's actually going to zero, because this is the next step here. The next step here is for this company to go and file for bankruptcy. From here, it's if Evergrande directors respect and acknowledge Fitch ratings, which are downgrading the company, the next step will be for them to file for insolvency, which will see the company liquidated, all right? Liquidated. That is a big word nobody wants to see in a company they have invested money, big money into. So if that is the next step, I will expect BlackRock to start thinking this way. Okay, what do we need to do to make sure we can find or raise some money elsewhere to balance this loss? Because this is a hedge fund. BlackRock is managing money for clients, high worth clients, big ultra rich people, but also people like you and I through 401ks and pension fund, etc., etc. So based on this, I'm expecting them to start seeing where in other pockets of the market they have their hands into, they can actually start raising money. And one of those pockets, one of those places is actually AMC, because BlackRock alongside Vanguard are one of the two, used to be one of the two, and still are, still are the two big, shareholder outside of the apes. I'm talking about, when it comes to the suits, all right? So don't get me wrong. Now, I'm betting that if I was BlackRock, I will start seeing, if I landed shares, because the theory out there is that a bunch of these suits bought AMC to actually get interest rates on a monthly or daily basis because they were lending shares to the short sellers. But now that it's getting tough for these institutions to, like BlackRock, to start also, getting that money because you're losing so much on anything else, I wouldn't be surprised if they start recalling those shares. Remember, anybody lending shares to a borrower, doesn't have to give them any heads up. Like any single day, all of a sudden, they can just recall those shares. Pick up the phone and say to the broker, hey man, I need my shares right away. And the broker will locate those shares and give them back right away. So not only it creates, it sucks the air out of the short selling pressure, but it's actually put them in a corner to start covering. Especially when it comes to the little short sellers here, those who don't have the same amount of buying power as the big guys like the Citadel or the Simplex Trading. Those are the ones we want to start see fall first, in cascade, in chain, all right? Because that domino effect can actually lead us to the big dogs. And when the big dogs fall, that's when we collect the 10 days, people. So This might not actually happen the way I'm expecting, but it's a possibility. All right. So let's see how it goes.